Altered Perspective. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. There were people like, come on, it's 6:30, come on, dude.
Late.
Yeah, calm the fuck down. Stop being so impatient. Closed? You don't give a fuck when you're being late. You don't care when people are waiting on you, so why should I care? But, yeah, welcome back to the Altered Perspective. We got the Godless Geeks on with us. We got Pimp Monk back, as usual. Before we get into the show here, just want to let everyone know there's a link down below for my Patreon. If you're not a patron, please consider becoming one. It's gone down quite a bit over the last few months. I'm trying to work really hard to get it back up. I do a private show every month. I'm going to start doing more crazy shit for the private shows to gain more interest. Yeah, I'm going to suck a dick on the next private show here on YouTube. But not really. Also, I have my own Amazon affiliate account now. If you look down below, there are links that correspond with each country that you can click on, and all I ask is that you bookmark those links, and anytime you shop from Amazon, use that, because I get a couple bucks from that every time you do that. And basically, Jeff Bezos, he can spare a few dollars for me.
Yeah, you're going to use Amazon anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're giving me money. So that's a good solution for people who want to support the show but don't actually have extra money to give. They shop on Amazon to buy stuff every now and then. That's perfect. That's what I'm asking for. And then also one last thing, another thing Amazon gave me now is they've given me a link to where you can go there, and there's products that I recommend. You can go there just to look at it.
They've got a lot of hairstyling products.
Actually, not. It's mostly music related stuff. I have Billy the Fridge's 3 albums up there. I have the Free Speech Stud Bangs Anita Sarkeesian on it. Written by the YB and Atheist guy. What else do I have? I have
he has those butt plugs that looks like raccoon tail.
Dude, you wish. Stop your projecting, man. You know what? You're projecting so much that you're about to put IMAX out of business.
What does the fox say? Bird.
But yeah, seriously, I have my guitar amp up there. I put that up there, and a lot of records that I like, basically, too. A lot of music that I like, and I'll be working on that periodically. You can go check on that. I probably will put on my Twitch. I have all the equipment that I have here on the studio, so people can see, what I use to broadcast. So you can check that out on my Twitch as well. Look, okay, I'm gonna stop reading the chat after I mention this because I can't. I'm just gonna start closing the chat and not looking at it. Someone said only degenerates think Dash is the best pony. No, only degenerates think there is a best pony. Sorry.
True. There's a lot of bronies out there.
Yeah, I know, and they're fine. People are allowed to like what they like, but then I'm allowed to poke fun at it too, because people poke fun at shit that I like all the time.
It's grown-ass men liking little cartoon horses. But not that okay.
They'll throw wrestling and its homoeroticism back at us. Yeah. So that's what they'll do. But I doubt there would have ever been a Dragon Ball Z without pro wrestling, motherfuckers.
Probably not. And plus,
pro wrestling was huge in Japan. Pro wrestling is still looked at as a sport in Japan. It's weird.
It's athletic. It's still, it's athletic as fuck. And plus, Bam Bam Bigelow could kick those little horses in the ass.
But here, in the U.S., it's not. But yeah, even in Canada, in Canada, their version of ESPN is called TSN, and they play wrestling on there like it's an actual, like it's an actual sport.
It's just entertainment, damn it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sports entertainment here. But everywhere else, it's a sport.
Yeah,
but
even though it's
athletic theater.
There's this new sponsor that we got over at DP. It's a gambling website. I don't know how it's legal, but it is. I think it's because they pay you out in Bitcoin that they can like get away with it. But basically, you can bet on every kind of sport you can imagine, and you can bet on pro wrestling. I was like, when I realized you could do that on this app, I was like, fuck, if I worked for WWE, I'd be betting like $5,000 on this shit. You know, like if there was ever like, because right now, there's like really low odds that Brock Lesnar will beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam because everybody knows Brock Lesnar is going back to the UFC. So if you bet like $100 on Brock Lesnar to win at SummerSlam and he wins, you're gonna win like over $1,000 because of the odds. So
yeah, but he had pretty low. It was pretty low that he was actually going to win at Mania, and Brock walked away with it.
Yeah, but he's actually about to leave, though. He
is going to go fight in UFC because there's a feud brewing with him and this other guy, and they kind of like the other guy called him out after his last UFC match, and Brock was in the crowd, so he came into the ring or into the octagon, and they stood toe to toe with each other. Then Brock just like pushed the guy like super far.
His name is Michael Cormier or whatever.
Yeah, he's a black dude.
He's the champ now.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like the biggest pro wrestling moment in the history of UFC though?
Yeah. It may have been planned. You know, they hype their fights the same way WWE does. It's just
they knew he was going to come in, but they didn't know Brock was going to push him. That's what it was. They had it set up to where Brock was going to come in. They were going to talk, but Brock shoved the motherfucker. That wasn't planned. And so, yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm just going to ask you guys. We have to talk about this. I'm going to talk about it on DP, too, once Billy's back. By the way, happy birthday to Billy the Fridge. He's on vacation right now. That's why we didn't do a Drunken Peasants today. That's why we're doing this show instead. What do you guys? What's your take on Mundane Matt? Let's just talk about it. I personally like. I just want to say, like, I know Matt personally, not that well, but I've hung out with him in person at least 5, 6, 7 times, and professional stuff aside, he was always a nice guy to me. That I'm, as far as I know.
Okay, here's my honest, as honest I can get opinion. What he did was about as shitty as you can do as a YouTuber, as a content creator. Shit.
It's Brett Keane levels.
It's Brett Keane level stuff. There's no defending it whatsoever. However, I'm going to put a however there. I refuse to join the dog pile.
Of course. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not joining the dog pile. I think there's no way I can defend what he did. What he did was pure shit. I mean, the list of people he flagged was unfucking godly. It was just ridiculous amount of people.
His biggest mistake was acknowledging at all that people were getting flagged.
Yeah.
Aside from doing the flagging, okay, obviously the flagging was the biggest mistake, but him allowing himself to be backed into a corner on a live stream like that, when he did have something to hide,
it made himself look even worse the way.
Well, yeah. And like they kept pointing out, it looked really bad because videos making fun of him would get taken down really quick, and then like clockwork, out of nowhere, here's Matt being like, "I didn't do this. What are you guys talking about? Hey, let me come in your stream and I'll explain myself."
Yeah, it just he fucked himself over, big time by the way he did it. And like I said, as someone is Ben can say this as well, as someone who's been flagged, like me and Ben has, it's low. It's some low dog shit to do to another content creator. It's just low as fuck. If you don't like what somebody says about you, either counterpoint it or just leave it the fuck alone.
I think that's the bad thing is nowadays on YouTube, everybody, instead of wanting to make a video on what someone says, they'll just, I'll just automatically go and flag you. And then you get these back and forth flagging wars, and no one wins in the end. It's just.
And I'm gonna tell you something. If you ignore it, it usually goes away. And and he just, I don't know, dude. And the thing about it is, he talked about other people flagging people, and it just made it look worse. Like I said, I don't know Matt. Like, I'm not best friends with Matt. I know him. We've done a few things together, but there's no way to defend this. But I do refuse to like dogpile him like everybody else is. Yeah. Right. I'm not going to do that.
See, and I feel the same way. I'm not going to dogpile. I'm not going to ignore it and pretend like it didn't happen, though.
Talk about it. Yeah,
because I was on Dick Masterson's show. I think it just got released today, but it was actually a few days ago. And, I had to talk about it then. And it's very simple, I don't agree with it at all. In the history of this channel, I've done like 3 flags ever, and they were for people doxing me. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's when I use it. There's been plenty of bullshit videos and all kinds of shit out there that, like, I'm like, fuck this, but I'm not gonna flag it, Yeah,
there's always gonna be people make videos against you and talk shit about you. There's no one's gonna. I mean, hell, I've had it done to me. I've only flagged like one video, and there was it was a fucking pedophile video. It was
weird.
A video of kids. Yeah, it was a video of like kids in their underwear, and it was really sick.
That's
it was
weird.
Years ago. I flagged. Yeah, it was some years ago. I flagged it, but people talking shit about me. No, and it seemed like every time someone made a video about Matt, he flagged it.
I flagged a video for sexual content once because you remember the Hey Scotty videos that we used to play all the time?
Yeah.
Well, people were getting because it was a meme and people were getting creative with it. Someone sent me a Hey Scotty video, but at the end, instead of it saying Jesus Man, it was a giant butt plug like being rejected by someone's asshole. Just like slowly falling out of someone's asshole. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for making me watch that, asshole.
That's Frank's life right there.
Every day.
Yeah. But yeah,
like whatever happened to that though? Like it's like the continued pussification of the world where people can't address things that are sent their way, and they feel as if they have to go like it's the internet equivalent of tattletaling, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the weird thing about what he was doing is he was flagging. And then when people would accuse him, he would respond like immediately, being like, "I didn't do that. Someone must be doing this to make me look bad."
Yeah, he even like swear to God, honest to God. But yeah, it's fucked up. I mean, there's no way to defend it.
Nah.
It's sad that it happens. I hate that it happens because Matt's actually a pretty good content creator.
Somebody in the chat just said nobody watches Matt. Okay, go to his Social Blade. He gets over 1 million views a month. So that's somebody. Somebody's watching. Sorry.
Yeah,
so
Matt's got viewers. Man, Matt's got a fan base. He lost. Somebody put up a damn. What is that site where Social Blade?
Social Blade.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it did drop.
Yeah. I mean, when shit like this happens, it's going to happen to it happens to everybody. So,
but just like with everybody else, just like when it happened when Jacqueline had the plagiarizing thing, I think we should give everybody an opportunity to redeem themselves.
Well, I think we're focusing too much on the drama and not like now the personal drama has become the content more than the actual content. It's like, oh yeah, this guy makes videos, he makes this content, but fuck all of that. I'm actually interested in what he's doing behind the scenes.
Yeah,
that's what I care about.
Yeah.
And there are definitely there are people whose shtick on YouTube is to expose people and uncover drama that may be hidden under the surface. So,
yeah.
Goodness.
Tabloids.
You know what I
That's for
heard?
you
Oh,
two.
you know what else I heard today? Dusty Smith got suspended from Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that today. What did he get suspended for?
What
Oh,
didn't he get
whatever.
suspended for? I mean, like, if you look at what they're suspending people for these days, I just look at like his entire history. He just says edgy bullshit.
He's
You
an
know?
old crotchy fuck is what he is. And,
Aren't you guys the same age?
yeah, but I'm not crotchety. He's just an old ass. Look, I like Dusty. Don't get me wrong. Personally, I like Dusty. But Dusty's just a grumpy old fucker. I think he's a little bit older than me, actually. I think he's like 42. Yeah, but he's just a grumpy little fucker, though. The one thing Dusty does that pisses me off is he'll say something, and then once he's called out on it, I was just being satirical.
Oh yeah,
No, you
I was only
weren't.
pretending
No,
to be
you weren't.
retarded.
I think he just got called out again with Steven in the non sequitur show because he was trying to make some claim and then people were like, wait a minute, no, and he was like, wait a minute, no. He tried to back it up and try to apologize.
Oh, I was misinformed. I'm sorry. The story of his fucking YouTube career, right?
Dusty's a beautiful bird.
Dusty is a
Fly.
beautiful bird. Yes. Fuck.
Can I say that Billy Gray in the chat room is a piece of shit? Yes, I can. I said it.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
I don't
so
know him, but I second that.
Let's watch a video. Here's Sanders can't guarantee Trump hasn't used the N-word. Hasn't everybody at one point? Like,
No,
You
nigga.
let's see.
I want to play for you this remarkable exchange from the briefing where Press Secretary Sarah Sanders was asked a pretty straightforward question. I think by NBC's Kristen Wilker. Let's take a listen.
You stand at the podium and guarantee the American people they'll never hear Donald Trump utter the N-word on a recording in any context.
I can't guarantee anything, but I can tell you that the president addressed this question directly. I can tell you that I've never heard it.
Just to be clear, you can't guarantee it.
Look, I haven't been in every single room. I can tell you the president has addressed this directly.
I mean,
She
that's
hates her
pretty
job.
stunning.
You know
First
she
of all,
does.
I'm not sure why today of all days she decided that lying was something she wasn't willing to do. So kudos to her for the truth on that. But like
Once in a while,
But
the truth comes
the
out.
idea that you can't make that guarantee, why
not that
can't you
bad.
make that guarantee?
Because anyone who's
It's
paying
not
Seems
attention,
honest.
Everybody said the word. Everybody has said the fucking word at one point. Everybody has
Do
said.
they mean like throughout his whole life or since he's been president?
There's
don't
no
know.
elaboration whatsoever on
I don't
that.
know But I mean, who hasn't said that word at one point? I mean, fuck.
Papa John's did recently.
Yeah, but he was, and it was shitty what he went through because he was just talking about what somebody else said, then he gets in trouble. But anyways,
knows that, well, basically, if you don't know that Donald Trump is not a racist or is a racist, gosh, I'm trying to get my words together here, then you haven't been paying attention. So even she knows
well, I've been
that
paying
she
attention.
cannot.
What has he done actually that makes him a racist?
I mean, they can throw out things that maybe might suggest it remotely, but they don't have anything, of
They don't have
substance.
No, they don't. Look, he's a dick, absolutely, but I don't think Trump is what you would call it. See, my opinion of a racist, though, is a lot different what today's meaning is, I guess, because you could hiccup toward a black person, oh, you're a racist.
Racist is almost like the new Hitler.
Yeah.
So, because for a while we was hearing Hitler, and now it's like,
Well,
racist.
Hitler was kind of racist, though.
Well,
yeah.
people always use Hitler analogies for everything. When
Yeah.
someone wants to prove a point, for some reason the Hitler analogy always comes out.
Categorically say that Donald Trump is not a racist. And also just look at his Twitter feed. When you call somebody a dog, especially people of color, which he loves to do,
Why does it? No.
Oh,
No, calling
No.
someone a dog is an insult, regardless of their race. I don't understand why there's all these words that are offensive to everybody, but for some reason they're worse to call someone of color.
Now, if he'd have came out and said that charcoal jungle bunny, okay, maybe so. But he called her a dog. I mean, and by the way, I what he said about Omarosa was so unpresidential. You know, presidents ain't supposed to talk like that. But I mean, it wasn't. There was not a racist insult in there.
You know what's even more unpresidential? To hire someone who won your reality show as part of your presidential cabinet.
This morning, yep. I said that this morning. I said it's a circus show. If you look, the presidential thing we got going on right now is a fucking circus. You had the president was the creator of a reality show. His contestant was part of his cabinet. It's just fucking insane.
We might as well make Puck from the Real World vice president.
Oh God!
Shit.
What a throwback!
I haven't heard a Puck reference in years. That is throwback as fuck.
I'm tempted to pick my nose and go dig peanut butter out of the jar with that same finger now.
Puck. I haven't thought about Puck in years, dude.
He was the only thing that made that show interesting.
Yeah, Puck was, I loved how he tortured that little gay Puerto Rican Cuban dude. I loved how he tortured that dude.
But that guy died not long after that, so it's kind of sad. But anyway, back to
the good part.
Women in particular, you're basically dehumanizing them. You're saying you're not human. And the funny thing too, I was thinking about it too, is like, okay, Putin's poodle is calling Omarosa a dog, right? Because that's
right. You're saying they're not a human. You're saying they're a different animal.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with black or white. That just
no.
I mean, I can say Frank's a fucking poodle, and you know he looks kind of.
Why do I got to be a poodle?
Well, I know you look more like a damn Saint Bernard, but
there you go.
Frank, the other guy looks like a goddamn Chihuahua. Look at him.
What he's been called after the Helsinki, but it's the low IQ, right? The rapists, the drug dealers, it's all a pattern. And what he is saying is people who are not like me, the other, I am going to dehumanize them, and they are not human. I'm going to belittle them, and I'm going to make them less.
I mean, most people are not like him. Most people are not billionaires. Most people are not the president. Most people, didn't come from wealth, didn't have every opportunity in the world.
Small loan of $1 million.
Yeah. They don't get to have a trophy wife from Eastern Europe. Whatever. So it's not just a skin color thing. There's many things that Trump has that most people don't have.
Exactly, but see, the thing about it is they want to use him as the model for all white men. Most white men are broke.
I know.
He's the model for orange men.
Yeah, it's just that they look at him and they use him as the example, and that's just a bad example. It's just stupid, and calling someone a dog is dehumanizing to anyone, any race, gender, or creed. It's dehumanizing. Yeah. That was the point. That's what he meant to do, actually.
I think instead of focusing on the racism, they should just focus on how fucking unpresidential he is, how much of an embarrassment he is.
I mean, the guy starts a Twitter war with like other foreign leaders. I mean,
how he's a bully. Yeah. What? Who would have fucking thought that the president of the United States threatens other leaders through Twitter that we're gonna fucking attack them with our military?
Exactly. We're gonna get nuked over Twitter, and that's the fucked up thing. So it's like,
yeah. What president would say stuff like "my red button's bigger than yours"?
Trump.
The same guy who was talking about his dick size during the debates.
Yep.
Well, his hands are big, by the way.
Then, and that is Donald Trump's way.
Don't you think that you could guarantee that if somebody said you used to work for Mitch McConnell, can you guarantee that there's no tape of Mitch McConnell using the N-word?
No hesitation whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You're
saying.
right.
I mean, no hesitation whatsoever.
You guaranteed something that you don't even know? Well, that's just bullshit. How is this news? These are just bullshit opinions.
Can we just go back to the 90s?
I mean, the 90s had its issues too, but I mean, things. Yeah. Yeah, we always romanticize the past.
Yeah,
we
do.
always think it was better before, but you go back and look, maybe certain things. Life was simpler for us because we were young, but other than that, like, there was still some fucked up shit going on in the world. Just, this is all cartoony bullshit, though. Like the president being a reality star who bullies people. He's like a troll, you know?
Yeah. And but the thing about it is also back in those days, the problems were real. I mean, today everybody's being accused of shit that doesn't make sense. Like you're racist because you
they try to pretend like racial tensions are at an all-time high now.
Yeah.
But I mean, the LA riots, we're not having like a week-long riot where people are being beaten to death and buildings are getting burnt down and in the second largest city in the country. We don't have that kind of shit happening.
Can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Nope.
What was so puzzling about this for me is that your job as the press secretary, and Sarah's got the toughest job in politics by far, and that goes.
She sucks at
basically any press secretary.
Yeah, she does.
But the president did address this on Twitter. In fact, he said it's not in his vocabulary.
And this is going to be an insult. This is just a flat out insult. It would probably be easier if they didn't have someone with the worst resting bitch face I've ever seen in my life do that job. Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Wandering eye.
Yeah, that one eye goes this way, another one that way.
I think she might have a glass eye or something. It looks like it because I have someone in my family that has a glass eye, and I always forget which one it is, and I don't know which one to make eye contact with. So when I'm talking to him, I could very well just be like looking out of his field of vision. That would be so weird.
Oh. Yeah.
So why then, at a press briefing, we can't make guarantees about whether or not this tape exists is really puzzling to me, because the president said himself it doesn't exist.
He says a lot of things himself that he then has to retract because they're lies. I think we're well into the thousands in Washington Post count about the number of lies. I think my challenge here is to just chime into what, Karine, you were saying, and that is Jamel Hill, Frederica Wilson, Maxine Waters, LeBron James, CNN's Don Lemon, NFL players who are overwhelmingly black are sons of bees. This man has an issue with black.
Okay, I didn't close the chat, and I'm still regretting it. Sanders is kind of cute in a strange sloth from the Goonies way. She's not. She's not cute. I'll tell you what. George W. Bush, had Dana Perino, and see, that's what Trump should have done. Trump should have went to like Eastern Europe and got, some woman from there to like be his press secretary, because see, Bush had Dana Perino, and she's she's like decently attractive, way better than Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Or he could
way
have just
better.
grabbed
Oh my God.
He could have just grabbed any Fox News reporter.
Yeah, I mean, Dana Perino works for Fox now too.
Yeah.
So
Maybe Megyn Kelly can go home.
This chick, not the real dark one, but the light-skinned black girl, she looks like she would be a real cunt.
I'm picking that up too.
I don't want to do that because I don't know anything about her. So I don't know.
She's got that cunt vibes, man.
Oh
She's got
no, the one on the left. The one on the left looks more cunty to me.
Now the one on the left looks like a burnt tater tot, but the other one's
God damn.
yeah.
What the fuck?
People. He has an issue with Latino people. That's how he started his campaign, and so
No, here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe he does, but I doubt it. I think he knew what certain people wanted to hear. And up until that time, anyone seriously running for president had to steer clear of making statements like that. But I think now it is to the point where there's enough people that are so far to the right that are afraid of globalism and things like that. and saying, these terrible people are coming across our border, rallied them to the point where it helped him win an election.
Yeah, he played the game. He knew what to say.
Well, and that's why after the shit went down in Charlottesville, he made sure that he didn't bash the white nationalists there. He said there's good people on both sides.
The same thing with the whole David Duke endorsement.
Oh yeah.
How long did it take him to go, okay, fine, I disavow, whatever.
Yeah, but in his defense on that one, just because a racist comes out and says I support Trump doesn't mean he's racist.
Sure.
Yeah, but
it doesn't mean he is, but eventually when there's enough people who happen to be racist supporting this singular candidate for president, we have to kind of look at who is he pandering to.
Yeah, because I said the same thing about Warski on YouTube. I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, you say you ain't racist, bro, but you got the whole Ku Klux Klan.
Well, I mean, and one of the guys that Warski had on a few times, Richard Spencer, who's one of the main white nationalists around right now, he was doing this Hail Trump shit. As soon as Trump got the nomination, he had this big rally, and they're all like, "Hail Trump!" Almost, I mean, it sounded like Germans, Heil Hitler,
Oh, I remember that video. Fuck.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You can't have a Trump conversation without mentioning Hitler at least 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah,
Hitler.
She can't guarantee that a racist didn't use
There's very few people that Hitler had better hair than, and Trump is one of them.
the N-word for the same reason that we can't guarantee that the head of the KKK didn't use the N-word, right? Like, I hate to break it to you, but this guy, and I remember.
That's not fair. That's
Somebody's reaching.
that's not even.
Has any of that shit that you just flung stuck to the wall yet at all?
A little bit.
Like being on air during the campaign, and the first time I said he was a racist, I can't remember whose show it was. Jake, it was not yours. But they said, you can't call him a racist. Why can't I? If all indicators say that you regularly traffic in this type of conversation, and you will egg people on, even on the anniversary of Charlottesville where somebody died, he couldn't say, right, like this was a white supremacist.
See, now they're bringing it up. They're bringing up what he said.
It has to end. Yeah. He said again, it wasn't, this time he didn't say on all sides, there are good people on both sides. He said all types of racism. Yeah. And so he regularly plays footsie with white supremacists, and that's why he's...
That's the point I was just making. I agree with that point. He does that, but he's doing it because it works.
Yeah.
It works.
There's all types of racism.
Yeah. It's the people who are... they're racist, but they keep it to themselves, and then they're the fucking people wearing white sheets and marching through the streets. You know
what I think? I think since it's Tuesday, I think we should start Tiki Torch Tuesday.
You gotta have the khakis and the polo and everything, right?
Yeah, you gotta get the haircut too.
Before I end this segment, this isn't news. They have no proof Trump said the N-word, but more than likely he has. He's over 60 fucking years old. Yeah. People say shit. It's okay. It's okay if he's at home talking to his buddies or to his family and he says that shit. It's his choice. As long as he's not like walking down the street and he sees a black person and like yells it at him, I would say that's an issue.
So as long as he doesn't pull like a Michael Richards.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because Michael Richards wasn't just using the word to be funny. He was calling a guy in the audience that.
Yeah, he was like, look, there's an arrow over there.
Yes, that's a perfect example of actually crossing the line. See, we need to take a look at the different ways this word is used and distinguish between them. We can't act like just simply saying the word Even when it's in context, even when you're quoting someone else or something, we can't pretend like that's the same as like going to like a black person's house and spray painting it on it. You know,
intent matters. Intent matters.
Intent matters. Context matters. Verbiage matters.
Yeah.
It's usually way more nuanced than just saying the word. Make sure you know.
One of my favorite clips ever is Booker T going, "Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, nigga."
Yeah.
And
the look on his face.
Yeah, because he realized he just said it. But I mean, if it would have been like somebody else saying it, they probably would have gotten fired. But because he said it, it's just like, don't ever say that again. But the funny thing is I saw an interview where someone asked Booker T about that, and Hulk Hogan came up to him and he was like, "I heard what you called me." And he was like, "Oh shit," because like Hulk Hogan was a heavy hitter at that time. He was basically the boss. You didn't want to piss him off, so he was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry. It just kind of slipped out." And Hogan was like, "That's okay. You know what? I'm a good nigga." That Booker T told that story.
My favorite part of that was Sherry Martell trying not to laugh.
Yeah, she was like looking at him because Booker T turns around. I'd play it, but fucking Vince McMahon will flag me. Booker T turns around and double face palms after he said it.
Yeah.
He was just
Sherry's
getting
face, and she's got that. She's trying to hold the grin back. Sherry is. It was awesome. Yeah. I miss her. She was all. I loved Sherry Martell. That was a bad bitch.
Yeah, she was awesome. And like she was tough, yet she was still feminine at the same time. She could cut a good promo. She knew how to wrestle. She died from an oxycodone overdose. So did, it's weird. Macho Man's two managers from back in the day, Miss Elizabeth and Sensational Sherry, both died of oxycodone overdoses.
Holy shit! What did he do to them?
He didn't do shit. Him and Elizabeth got divorced, and she started dating Lex Luger, and when she died, she was actually with Lex Luger, and he was the one who called 911 and everything.
Well, at that time, like pills were really big.
They still are, because when you work a job where you're getting injured on a regular basis, what else are you gonna do? Someone said, "Oh, he's back to wrestling." You know what? You're gonna love this next story, then, guys. You're gonna love this next story because we have to pay tribute to Jim the Anvil Neidhart, dead at 63. Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
What was his cause of death?
Let's see. Neidhart suffered from a medical emergency at a home in Florida early Monday morning, and emergency personnel were called to the scene. Neidhart, who rose to fame as part of the legendary Hart Foundation in the 1990s, was a two-time WWE Tag Team Champion alongside his brother-in-law, WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart. Before the world of professional wrestling, Neidhart was a record-setting shot putter at Newport Harbor, California. Let's see what he actually did, though. Like, what did him in? Maybe they're not going to say. Let's see.
It's a heart attack.
Yeah, not surprising. He probably did steroids, and that's what kills a lot of these guys.
It actually says at the bottom he's the fourth member of the Hart Foundation to pass away.
Yep. Brian
Pillman had a heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah. Pillman was way younger though when he died. Same thing with Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Says right there. Yeah, actually, someone showed me a photo of the Hart Foundation, and Bret Hart's the only one that's still alive out of all of them.
Damn.
God.
Yep.
Of course,
They're
we
all
all know
dead.
how Owen died,
Yeah.
falling to his death, but yeah.
Yeah, that was an accident. That's different. Yeah, I did that just to like kind of piss off the anti-wrestling people.
Talk about wrestling again.
So about SummerSlam.
Check this out.
Yeah.
YouTube removes nun jump scare ad, cites advertising policy violations.
Probably about the best ad they can play.
Have you guys seen it? I haven't seen it.
I haven't
seen it either.
Turn off that pesky ad block, guys. YouTube has a long chronicled history of obnoxious, annoying, and disrespectful advertisements. Really? Whatever. That is not something I think of. I mean, especially not disrespectful. Maybe annoying, obnoxious, maybe. But a new viral marketing campaign for The Nun is the last straw for many users. The Nun is an upcoming horror movie from Warner Brothers Pictures that follows a group sent by the Vatican to investigate a nun's suicide. It's designed to creep people out, and like other horror movies before it, the marketing campaign for the film is over the top. Its YouTube ad campaign gives users a couple of seconds to turn the volume on their computers down before a grotesque image from the film pops up, accompanied by a large bang and piercing scream. The image only lasts a split second, but it's enough to catch someone off guard. I think that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably about the best ads you can like play on YouTube. Normally I see like Christian like colleges and beer. I want this other than that.
I'll tell you what. When I was a kid, there was nobody in my life more scary than the nuns that taught at my elementary school. I was fucking terrified of them. They were evil. I had one. Her name was Sister Mary Patrick, and she used to be the head principal of a military school, a Catholic military school. And she was so fucking scary. You could tell she hated kids too. It's like, why would a woman that's not allowed to get laid, who's a crotchety old bitch, want to be around a bunch of fifth graders all day?
No.
I just think it's funny that it's another PG-13 horror flick, so the ad's probably scarier than the whole goddamn movie.
It's probably a bunch of jump scares.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The ad's done its job. One tweet warning people about the ad has amassed more than 80,000 retweets. I like how we measure the relevance of things based on retweets, with hundreds of people replying to the thread with their own concerns after seeing the ad. We're just so fucking concerned all the time, aren't we?
Yeah, we're just so worried about everything.
We move from one concern to the next concern. Whatever happened to just relaxing and enjoying life?
No wonder people are dying of heart attacks. We worry about everything.
Yeah, well, you know,
relax.
You know, like Jim the Anvil Neidhart, he died of a heart attack. It said he did a lot of drugs and shit, which most wrestlers did. But man, I guarantee you, he relaxed and enjoyed life. He wasn't on the
Heart Foundation if they all died from heart failure so far.
Oh, that is hilarious, but that is sad.
Just wanted to point that out.
Hey guys, I gotta go take a pee. I'll be right back.
Piss in a bottle. I know you got a couple around there.
So since Pimp is taking his potty break right now, I want to remind everyone I do have a Patreon. It's my own Patreon. It's one of the few things that is actually mine, that no one else has their hand in. So it's really important to me to keep that up. I'm taking suggestions right now on what you guys want out of my what would make you want to subscribe to my Patreon if you'd like. And recently, Patreon opened up instant billing, because it used to be a month in advance they would bill people. Now, if you want to sign up and catch the private show that I'm doing in a few weeks here, you can sign up and you can cancel and you can come back whenever you're ready to come back again. There's no obligation. You can come and go as you please. And it helps me out a lot. And then one other thing that I'm really pushing, as I was saying earlier, Amazon. Take a look down below. There's multiple Amazon links. There's links for your designated country. Based on the majority of people who watch my videos, most of them are from English-speaking countries. And then there's Germany. Germany is usually the number one non-English speaking country that I get views from. So all of those links are down below. And I have a storefront now that I recommend products from Amazon. It costs you nothing extra. And actually, here's another cool thing that Amazon's doing right now. They let you do giveaways for your fans. Like you can, like let's say I wanted to do a giveaway for a book that's on Amazon. Let's say I buy 3 of them, and basically I give the link to my followers, and they go to my storefront, and each one of them has a chance of winning one of the giveaways. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. Do I get YouTube Red money? Yeah, but that's contingent upon how many people with YouTube Red watch my videos and how long they watch them. So it's not much. The YouTube ad revenue, if I was relying solely upon YouTube ad revenue, I would not be able to do this. I would have to be working 40 hours a week doing something else. So and for those of you who are patrons, if there's anything that I can do to make you guys bump it up a level, if there's something you want that I'm not giving you, just let me know, because I'm going to start making some changes to it to get the ball rolling. Yeah, Jeff Bezos owes me a kickback for every fucking thing I help him sell. You know, he only lives like 6 to 8 minutes away from me. Him and Bill Gates live a mile away from each other in the same little town. Can you imagine how much fucking money is in that town alone?
Go get your money, bro.
Yeah, go knock on the front door.
Oh yeah. I'll be in the news tomorrow if I'm not like shot by a security guard or something.
Maced.
So yeah, people are flipping out about a dumb ad. Oh, here's some of them. Warning, if you see an ad on YouTube with the volume sign being turned down and nothing else, it's a jump scare. For the new Nun movie coming out, I advise you to look away and or turn down the volume if you have anxiety or just straight hate jump scares. Please retweet to save a life. Are you kidding me?
What a puss.
To save a life?
Yeah, because he could be holding a steak knife and he's scared and
To save a life. Hey, if you want to save a life, go donate blood or become an organ donor or become a volunteer firefighter or something. Retweeting saves no fucking lives.
Oh,
Zero.
But it does.
Especially from a stupid nun ad.
The power of the Twitter, man, saves lives.
Prophet Carlin was onto something, man. It's the continued pussification of society.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to talk about it, but did you hear about that Jack in the Box ad? Got the Me Too movement all pissed off?
No.
Oh my goodness, dude, it's crazy. Jack in the Box has come out with these new bowls, chicken teriyaki and steak teriyaki bowls. Well, they made a commercial where the Jack in the Box guy said, "Don't you want to taste my bowls? Don't you want to hold my bowls in your hand?" Of course, he's referencing to his balls. And the Me Too movement said it was sexual harassment.
Oh, fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not shocked anymore.
No.
The Me Too movement has become weaponized, just like a lot of other movements that probably had good intentions at first. And you know, people like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby who are actually raping people. Yeah, but now it's weaponized and it's used to just ruin people's reputations.
Chris Hardwick.
Yeah. A bunch of people. It's happened to. Louis C.K. I mean, there's quite a list. I kind of feel the same way about Black Lives Matter. I think maybe at first the guys who started it really had good intentions, but that's weaponized too.
Yeah.
So
bad people get a hold of good things and ruin it.
Yeah. I mean, even to some degree, the ACLU, you know, they've overstepped in some ways. But I'm actually a fan of what they do by and large, though.
Me too.
Yeah,
But
because
there's been moments though. There's been moments where.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll see them even represent people who have like talked shit about them in the past.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I think they helped Rush Limbaugh one time when yeah. Let me double check that. I want to be sure.
That's fucked up.
I think they represented like white supremacists before, right?
Because you know Rush Limbaugh, he had a pill problem at one point.
He did.
That's why he's deaf. He wears cochlear implants because he's deaf. He lost his hearing. Yeah. I thought I remembered this. This is crazy because I know for a fact Rush Limbaugh has bashed the ACLU before, but ACLU asked court to protect confidentiality of Rush Limbaugh's medical records. So, because they were trying to throw him in jail for, what they call doctor shopping, because he was going around to as many doctors as he could, trying to get oxycodone. He ended up buying oxycodone from his Hispanic cleaning lady. So,
Damn.
yeah.
No.
Oh no, no, Percocet.
Let's take a look at this crazy fucking video.
Tragedy. We are watching it in Italy after a bridge linking northern Italy to France collapses this morning. Cars crashing 150 feet to the ground. At least 22 people are dead. More could be trapped in the rubble. We go to Amy Kellogg now, live in Milan.
What a nightmare.
That's fucked up.
You never think about that when you're driving over a bridge. Like, see, Pimp Monk, we never see news stories about people being mauled by escalators, but you're afraid of those. But you go over fucking bridges all the time. People are falling to their deaths.
Yep, that's true.
I want you to go. I want you to go somewhere and find an escalator and ride it and record it on a video
I
for me,
will
please.
die.
No, you won't.
It will kill me.
We were
will kill me.
We were at a bar drinking, and there was an escalator probably like 50 yards away from us.
Down it, though. That's the thing.
Whatever. You keep telling this bullshit narrative. Anyway, and the two escalators were right next to each other, the up one and the down one. And I said, Pimp Monk, I'll give you $50 if you go to that escalator.
I wasn't gonna do that to embarrass me. I wasn't gonna embarrass myself like that, though.
Why is that embarrassing?
It just wasn't. It felt humiliating at the moment.
How's it humiliating? I would have been like, look, this fucking idiot just paid me $50 to ride an escalator. I would have looked like an idiot.
Do you have that step on, step off anxiety? Is
that's
that
it.
It's so funny. It's so funny when he does it.
Right,
he does this little when Scooby Doo runs and he's like up in the air and his legs are moving before he takes off.
It is like that. Yep.
That's what he's like when he steps off the escalator.
I've said it a million times. It's irrational. I've said it a million times, but for some reason I don't know why. I just have it. I don't know why.
You've watched Mallrats one too many times when that kid gets sucked up into the escalator.
It actually had there was a video of a Japanese woman getting killed by one time, and it fucked with me for some reason. I don't know why.
Sure.
It fucked with me.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Julie. Well, on top of the dead and the injured, physically injured, there are so many people being treated right now for shock. And frankly, no one really knows how many people may be trapped under the rubble. So the priority for rescue workers really is to go through those virtual mountains of twisted steel and concrete and try to get to anyone who is alive. Now, this is the moment it happened this morning. You can hear someone yelling, "Oh my God, oh my God." A 600-foot section of the Morandi Bridge outside Genoa just collapsing.
Oh, you know what? Red Eye's in the chat, and he said, ask Pimp about the helicopter ride over an active volcano and remind him about the gas belching from deep within the earth, the death gas. So you're going to do that. You're going to do that, and you're going to pay to do it, but you're not going to ride a fucking escalator for $50.
That's true.
And you're saying that's humiliating.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. You know,
And by the way, I'm going to time Red out for being
some weirdo in the chat said Candid Shills. I've never used Candid in my life.
What is that?
It was some app that was like collecting data for something that like a lot of people a lot of people on YouTube were advertising it, and it turned out that the intentions of it were less than stellar. But I never advertised it, and I never used it, so I don't know what people just blurt out whatever retarded shit they want.
They got Tourette's.
Yep. Candy chill. Fuck. Cunt. Dude, there's a fucking there's a guy with Tourette's on YouTube, and he's so fucking hilarious. He's
I think I know what you're talking about.
He's a British guy. He's so funny. I love it.
Funny. I like that dude.
Yeah, I have a slight form of Tourette's. It's not the yelling kind. I just have facial Tourette's. But I could, like, since it's on my medical records, I could probably go around and start cussing and pass it off.
I think my bowels have Tourette's.
It's funny because he goes like caramel, and he goes fuck. There's a video of him on an airplane, and he's like, "I'm smuggling cocaine" and stuff like that. It's so hilarious. It's like a cue ball. I can't remember. Let me see.
No, don't finger my butt. I got Tourette's.
Yeah, Lewis cue ball. So funny. I love it. There's one where he reads Green Eggs and Ham on helium, like he inhales helium and reads it, and he sounds like a fucking like a parrot with like dirty language when he does it. Caramel. Wankers. Fuck. Yeah, when he says fuck, it's like fook. F-O-O-K. Fook. All right, let's see. Oh God, this is crazy. But this is just evidence that something needs to be done. We cannot let the Catholic Church regulate itself anymore. Like, someone needs to get in there. We need third-party investigations figuring out why the pedophilia is not only so rampant, but also it's protected. Yeah, it's protected. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's encouraged, but it's like it's enabled. Enabled's the right word.
Well, they do have an altar boy of the month calendar. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Breaking in just the last hour, predator priests and a bombshell grand jury report just released. More than 300 Catholic priests in the state of Pennsylvania are accused of either sexually abusing children themselves or helping others cover up abuse. The number of identifiable
Let me put on my shocked face.
Young victims, more than 1,000. That's the finding in a 1,300-page...
More than 1,000 kids. And it's crazy when they go even further with it because, these people were being protected.
Grand jury report just out in the last hour. The grand jury for 2 years investigated accusations in 6 of the 8 dioceses in the state of Pennsylvania. Listen to how the grand jury opened its report. I'm quoting here. "We, the members of the grand jury, need you to hear this. We know some of you have heard some of it before. There have been other reports about child sex abuse within the Catholic Church, but never on this scale. For many of us," they write, "those earlier stories happened someplace else, someplace away. Now we know the truth. It happened everywhere."
Literally everywhere.
We heard the testimony of dozens of witnesses concerning clergy sex abuse. We subpoenaed and reviewed 500,000 pages of internal diocesan documents.
It's diocesan.
They contained credible allegations against over 300 predator priests. Over 1,000 child victims were identifiable from the church's own records. We believe that the real number of children whose records were lost or who were afraid even to come forward is in the thousands.
Okay, so however they're going about the criteria for priesthood needs to be changed. For one thing, they need to allow priests to marry and have sex lives so that normal people don't so that more people who don't have some sort of sexual issue that they're trying to repress become priests, because that's what's happening.
Give them at least yeah, I was gonna say, give them one of the little fuck dolls. I mean, they have enough money to buy at least 2 of them per.
Have their own city, bro.
Well,
give them fuck bots.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who are married that are Catholic that would be priests if they were allowed to be. And what we're finding in the Catholic Church is that a lot of these men become priests, and they're very religious. They believe that getting closer to God is going to help them get rid of these sexual urges that they know are wrong. And then what ends up happening is that they find out that they end up being left alone with children an awful lot because they're trusted members of the community. So it actually puts them in a situation where they're even more tempted to do these things because they're being left alone with children. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think it's an archbishop in Australia where they're rolling out a law in October, I believe, that any kind of confession made during confession that there was any kind of molestation or anything like that going on, the archbishop there is already saying outright, I will not honor this law. Like, I will not report this. So
that's fucked.
You know, they do that with even murder and stuff. Back in the day, you know, the Italian mafia, they were all Catholic, and in Catholicism, if you go to a priest and confess your sins, no matter what it is, it will be forgiven as long as you're truly repentant for it. So, you know, Al Capone would go, after murdering a bunch of people, would go to a priest and confess everything, and the priest was not allowed to tell the police about any of the stuff he told them. And, you know, to a degree, I get that. It's kind of like, I mean, you know, I can tell my therapist a bunch of things, and my therapist wouldn't tell anyone unless, but the exception to that is if I was going to harm myself or someone else. They have laws that prevent them from keeping that a secret. So I think the same thing should go for priests.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. And I went to Catholic school from kindergarten through 12th grade, and I consider myself lucky that I never encountered a perverted priest, because it just seems like the odds are really high. I mean, there were even teachers at my school in the past that had gotten in trouble that
Maybe
were priests.
Maybe he didn't find you attractive, man.
You know, maybe so. Maybe so. I mean, we had a priest at my high school that, let me back up. My school had an optional study hall at the beginning of the day, and you could take it. And, you know, I always procrastinated on my homework, so I would use this first hour study hall to get homework done that I didn't finish the night before. And, you know, the study hall was pretty boring, and then I found out a lot of my friends were hanging out in this classroom with one of the priests, who, you know, we would just do the study hall in his room, and we kind of hang out and talk and everything. And we thought he was a cool guy, you know? And he seemed more down to earth and willing to talk to us like we were adults rather than, you know, act like we were children. And we were all, you know, 17, 18 years old. It was like our senior year of high school. And then a few years after we had graduated, we found out that they found child pornography on his computer. So
Jesus Christ.
Yep. So there were
paid off, bro.
Well, there were never any reports of him actually, you know, doing anything to anyone, but they did find, you know, illegal pornography on his computer, and he did go to jail for a few years because of it. So
yeah, that tends to happen.
So you never know. I mean,
It's
well,
so fucked up, though.
yeah. Yep.
The reports add all of those victims were brushed aside in every part of the state.
So I believe that's another example of someone becoming a priest to help them repress sexual urges that they know are wrong.
Yeah.
And we'd get a lot more priests that don't have to do that if we allow priests who are allowed to have sex become priests. Just saying.
By church leaders who preferred to protect the abusers.
You don't hear about Lutheran sexual abuse everywhere. You know, you don't hear about Baptist sexual abuse everywhere. I mean, the only place we see it is in Catholicism, which is the largest church in the world, and everyone involved in it has to be celibate. Like the nuns have to be celibate, the priests have to be celibate. And I think the nuns, it just turned them into bitches.
Crotchety old cunts.
Yeah.
But,
and their
and the thing about it is that, priests have this power, right? People send their kids to them for therapists, and they're not therapists, by the way. They're not fucking psychologists. No. They're fucking, they talk about God.
They went to seminary, which is just, it's like college to be a priest. And you study the Bible, which means you study bullshit, essentially.
And there's been stories that's come out that I read one time where these parents sent their kid to the priest because the kid was actually being molested by someone in the family. Well, then the priest started molesting the kid.
Oh,
wow!
Goddamn! Why don't they just let the why not just let the priests fuck the nuns? I mean,
I say let them. Okay, so it's baby steps. They're not going to let openly gay people be priests or nuns, but let your heterosexual priests and nuns marry whoever the fuck they want. If they want to marry each other, let them do that. If they want to marry someone who's not in the clergy, then let them do that. Just let them do it.
And you say like fucking the nuns, it's like the NFL, the players can't fuck the cheerleaders, man.
It still happens.
Why?
I mean, Catholicism embraced evolution. Why not embrace fuckbots? I'm just saying. I'm not getting off this fuckbot thing. It's the solution to our problems.
This new pope may be the one that they need, though, because he is bringing some change.
He's more. He's bringing change to something that hardly ever changes in its 2,000-year existence.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
that's true.
There's a new. I don't know if it's
but
a
it's
show
a start. But it's a start.
From the inception of the church all the way up until like the late 60s, early 70s, when they had the Second Vatican Council, when you went to a Catholic church, the priest faced away from the congregation and read nothing, and the entire mass was done in Latin, which is a language that nobody speaks for regular conversation in the world anymore. So, like, you would go to church and not even know what the fuck they were saying. And that's something that took them forever to change.
If you don't know what they're saying, then you don't know they're spewing bullshit. That's a pretty good strategy.
The Bible wasn't available for you to just go to a store and buy forever. It was when the printing press came about that happened. Very few people had their own copy of the Bible, and before that, it wasn't in languages that anyone could read unless you knew Greek or Latin. So Greek is still a spoken language, but Latin is not. Latin has become several different languages depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Like Spanish, Italian, French, Portuguese, Romanian. Those are all Latin languages that evolved into other languages over time.
Yeah, there's some kind of show that's coming out now. I don't know if it's a documentary or what. They're going saying that this new pope that we have now is going to be the last pope ever.
I doubt that. As long as there are Catholics in the world, there's going to be a pope. And you look at Brazil. If every other person, any other place in the world stopped being Catholic and only Brazil was still Catholic, there'd still be enough people to keep the church going. Because that's the largest Catholic population in the world.
Back in the old days, the priests were allowed to have sex, and then they stopped it for some reason. They need to go back to letting them priests get their willies wet.
Yeah. Let them fuck them like animals. It gets you closer to God.
And it's not so much that it would change the behavior of the bad apples, but it would make them fewer and farther between because we'd have more priests that don't have repressed sexual issues and then finding themselves alone with children.
Yep. That's the problem, man. These religions teach that sex is bad. We all know it's not. And then people start repressing it, and then some crazy shit starts to happen.
Someone mentioned Brazil, Mexico, Italy, Malta. I think they mean all Catholic places. Yeah. Oh, don't forget about Poland, Croatia. I mean, there's so many of them. Ireland. Ireland doesn't have a big population, but that's a very Catholic country.
Yeah.
The chat caught me messing up Pope with poop.
And there's certain states, certain cities in America that are, like New York's a really big Catholic thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, Catholicism is very prevalent in the Northeast and in the Midwest, where it usually depended on where the immigrants in that area came from. Catholicism is big in Louisiana because it was a French settlement. Florida because it was a Spanish settlement. And then in the Midwest and in the Northeast, there was a lot of German settlers, and most of them were Catholic. So someone said Quebec is Catholic. Yeah, that's another thing where, French people influenced the primary religion of that area.
I heard they like to lick legs in their churches, though, for 30 minutes.
Well, lick the legs.
Lick the altar boy for 30 minutes.
Oh, stop.
Anyways.
Ball. The Pennsylvania Attorney General put it in stark terms.
Priests were raping little boys and girls, and the men of God who were responsible for them not only did nothing, they hid it all for decades. Monsignors, auxiliary bishops, archbishops, cardinals have mostly been protected. Many, including some named in this report, have been promoted.
The Pennsylvania Attorney General in the last hour. The Allentown Diocese has released a statement that reads in part, "Abuse is abhorrent and has no place in the church or anywhere in society. Much has changed in the past 15 years.
And it's not just with this pedophilia. We had, in my hometown, an instance where a priest murdered a nun in a hospital, in a Catholic hospital, in like the chapel that they had there. And he got away with it for 30 years. Yep. They didn't find out that it was him until they reopened the case and used DNA testing, which they didn't have during the original incident, and found this guy's DNA all over the murder weapon. And then finally, and then he died in prison a couple years later because he was so old. But that was covered up and brushed aside for years.
Well, there's a Netflix documentary. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. To where these priests killed this one nun who was trying to uncover all the rapes that were happening in this school for girls. They were raping the teenage girls. The priests were. I mean, it was horrible. And the nun was going to expose it, so they murdered her.
I think I remember that Netflix show.
I can't remember the name of the damn documentary, but it's really good documentary.
Yeah, so, the murder happened April 5th, 1980. Sister Margaret Ann Paul. It's a crazy story. And I guess there was some sort of ritual, like satanic ritual that would happen. I heard all kinds of rumors. I don't know if they were all confirmed or not, but I heard there was some weird, like, ritualistic gruesome things that happened in the murder of this nun, and it was just covered up forever, and nobody wanted, it was a sword-shaped letter opener. That was the murder weapon.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
I bet you they based that movie, the nun movie, off of this.
Maybe. Nuns are scary, man. They are. I had another nun in high school. We called her Sister Linebacker because she could have been a fucking linebacker. She had the broadest shoulders I've ever seen on a woman in my life. I wouldn't have fucked with her.
Damn.
Let's see what else we got here.
That's a big bitch.
This crazy guy wants to fight Alex Jones.
That dude does.
Listen.
Dude look like a twig.
Alex Jones is nothing compared to Elon Musk.
Wow, he should do voiceover work.
He wants to connect our brains to machine consciousness. This is what we fucking need to bring about world peace.
Eat a
Start a
cheeseburger.
new world
This
order.
angle is
Everything
fucking
Alex
terrifying.
Jones is
Yeah, he
against.
looks like the South Park African kid. You know what I mean?
Starving Marvin.
Yeah, Starving Marvin. That's it. Yeah.
Looks like he's waiting to take it in the booty right now.
Against globalist, I say fuck.
From Elon Musk.
How skinny he is, you'll be able to see it moving inside of him.
Fuck you.
Oh God, look at him.
Bitch.
You gonna flex his skinny little muscles?
I always get tickled at skinny dudes like that.
Look at this.
Who brag about their abs? No, you don't have abs. You're just bony, motherfucker.
I'm not a fan of Alex Jones, but I'm pretty sure he can break you like a twig.
Alex Jones would whoop this dude's ass.
I hope this is a troll.
Have you ever seen Alex is buff even for his age, man?
I hope this is a troll.
He's got to be. He doesn't even know how to throw punches. Look at him. He doesn't even know how to shadow box.
He looks like a gray alien. He just fucking smacked his hands together a second ago.
If you punch like that, you getting your ass.
You don't know
I'm just
shit.
saying.
I like that
I don't
scoliosis
work out.
stance he's got, though.
I have muscles naturally. You're fat. You take off your shirt. You show your fucking muscles.
He's
your body
trolling.
is
He's
fucking
gotta
ugly.
be.
I get followers of you calling me ugly. Calling me ugly.
Dude, you have the body of like a 10-year-old, honestly.
And what's up with this? All of a sudden, it's Robert De Niro. You talking to me? You calling me up?
Better keep those Catholic priests away from this kid.
Yeah. You have not yet finished puberty, dude.
Wow.
His chest looks like a tissue. I mean, it's thin. Oh, he's buff. Oh, look at him. He's slick.
Elon Musk. Now, Alex Jones says some good stuff about Elon Musk when I've doubted Elon Musk. I mean, I think he's a great guy. I wanted to get that tattoo on my fist, a Tesla logo on my forehead.
Okay, troll. Troll. He
Yeah,
wants to
he's
get a
trolling.
Tesla logo tattooed on his forehead. No. It could have been at least a little believable until just now.
Yeah, he's trolling.
Forehead.
It's not a tattoo. That's a splatter
And a
target.
BFR rocket ship going up my spine. Maybe a cyborg dragon.
Oh,
since
God.
Elon Musk is making that.
Huh,
Get it
someone
on
said
your
he's trying to go scuff Steve Jobs 3. Is there a second one?
Want to get tattoos all over my body. And,
This
Get it on
dude's
your chest.
as skinny
Be a
as he
UFC
is,
fighter.
he's breathing
you know
hard
who
from doing
I
that little
would
bit
really
of.
like to fight? Well, you probably guessed it, right? Man. Fucking.
He looks like an AIDS patient.
You need to get the Elon Musk on your chest like the Lord Stephen Christ guys do.
Yeah. Now that's dedication.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I think it's Tom Buckford or something.
What the fuck?
Stephen Colbert, spelled StephenColb.
Did he call him Stephen Cold Beer? Hold on a second. It sounded like he said Stephen Cold Beer.
Stephen Colbert, spelled.
He did.
It did kind of sound like you said that.
What's
didn't it?
refreshing on a hot summer day? I'll have a tall glass of Stephen Cold Beer. Huh?
Spelled StephenColbert. Colbert. Makes fun of Alex Jones a lot, and he's actually got a character
So we know
where
you can
he
spell.
makes fun of Alex Jones and
Stephen Coldbeard.
you know, stupid jokes by Stephen Colbert.
He did it again.
He is saying you can fucking spell it. Why are you having so much trouble with saying it?
I don't admit, but he's like a famous Comedy Central show person, and
Comedy Central show person.
you know, just to like
That's what he puts on his resume. And actually, he's not anymore. He's the host of the Late Show on CBS.
you guys know, my videos have been absolutely crazy. I do not.
Stephen Coldbeard.
I do not support violence. But if it's one man, I
Didn't
would
you just
fight
challenge
it's
Alex Jones to a fist fight?
Yeah.
And I don't care if he's bigger than me.
Dude, you probably weigh about 110 pounds, depending on how tall you are.
I don't care if he has more muscle than me. I just want to fucking fight him. That's how pissed off he fucking makes me. Because he's a crazy ass conspiracy.
Dude, you can't call anybody else crazy. I'm sorry.
Crack too, brother. You crack too.
That says very dangerous things, and I think he's gonna get backed up and supported by Donald Trump. I just have a feeling about that. And I hope not. This world's gonna go to hell because our president is the fucking leader.
The president's always been the leader.
It's gonna go to hell.
Hello,
people.
Captain Obvious.
Fuck.
Can we have this guy actually fight Alex Jones with the stipulation if
I would
Alex
pay.
wins, he gets all his channels back?
I would pay.
He was drinking out of a coffee pot.
Is he drinking coffee directly out of the pot? I don't know. Fuck.
It looks that way.
Do you guys have you guys heard about the Logan Paul fight that's gonna happen? You know, Pit Monk. You know,
what is it, KSI or whatever? it is?
yeah. You Pit Monk. You know that night that we went to that bar, the first night of
that
VidCon.
dude, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the card for that.
Yeah, he's
fight.
on the card. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah. KSI's gonna whip Logan Paul's ass. I hope he does.
Fuck
anyway.
yeah, he's going to. Logan Paul outweighs him though by a lot. Like they wouldn't sanction this fight as a pro fight because of the weight difference between the two of them.
Did you see the press conference?
Yeah.
Oh God, they booed the Paul brothers so much.
Yeah. Both of the Paul brothers are boxing. Scarce is boxing. There's a lot of big names from YouTube boxing at this event. It's gonna be crazy.
They're charging $8 for it
on YouTube pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna make a lot of money.
They originally said it was going to be free, and then all of a sudden, then they'd seen how many people were going to watch it. So
people restream it.
It's worth watching Logan get his ass beat.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get his ass beat. But that dude you were talking about that's going to be on the card said he believes Logan's going to win.
The size difference says a lot, honestly.
It does. It does.
I think he outweighs him by 30 pounds or something. It's a lot. Let's see.
But crazy and determination also adds to it. And this black dude looks like he's just determined.
He's determined, but it's just okay. I mean, if Mayweather would have fought a heavyweight, even not even the best heavyweight, a mid card heavyweight, he would have lost because all of that would have needed to have happened.
In most cases. But look at the old school UFC, though, when the Gracies used to beat those big old motherfuckers.
Yeah, but that's a little different. That's not boxing, and you can grapple and stuff like that. Well, and a lot of times, Hoist Gracie, he won those fights before they had a lot of rules that they have now. So he was allowed to pull hair, he fought a guy named Chemo, and he beat him basically by holding onto his hair the entire time. So this is different. In boxing, weight matters a lot.
It does. It does.
Let's see. I'm looking up.
I like Lone Wolf's suggestion: Corpse Midget versus Alex Jones hater.
But Logan I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. He just doesn't look like he's going to know what to do.
I mean, I'm sure he's training, so he probably knows a little bit at least. Yeah, I was looking at
the tape out yet?
Yeah, that's what I was looking up, and I can't find it. I had it the other day, and
he is a lot smaller.
Yeah, I think he has something like 30 pounds on him, which is huge. I mean, that's... And he's taller.
I say boxing? Did I ever say boxing was MMA? But this dumbass in the chat room tends to think I said that. Fucking retard.
You, sir, are a retard.
Good day.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I will say, yes, KSI looks more athletic. He looks like he's in better shape. And that will help because Logan Paul will get tired more quickly.
But
if Logan Paul has 30 pounds of more force behind him,
what he needs to do is lean on him.
He'll land a knockout punch. That's why you see more knockouts in heavyweight fights than you do in these fights where the guys only weigh like 130 pounds. Like Conor McGregor, he weighs like 140 pounds or something like that.
What Logan needs to lean on him a lot, and he really does.
And drink a big pot of black coffee right from the damn pot before the fight.
He has to be really careful. Like boxing is stamina based. If it doesn't matter when you land a punch, if your arms are so tired that there's like no force behind it. So you got to make your punches. You got to choose wisely when to throw punches. And you have to land them because every punch you throw that doesn't land is wasted energy that you're not going to get back.
The sweet science.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, I did like amateur boxing matches at the YMCA and stuff when I was a kid, and I remember my arms being unbelievably tired to the point where I could hardly hold them up. By the third or fourth round.
Yeah.
Like, you get to the point where even holding up your arms is challenging because they're so fucking tired.
Damn.
Yeah. That's what happened. If you go back and you watch that Mayweather-Conor McGregor fight, Mayweather threw like 4 punches total in the first 2 rounds. And McGregor's throwing all kinds of crazy punches trying to hit him. And then eventually, once it looked like McGregor's arms started to get tired, that's when Mayweather just opened up on him. And that's... Dude, and when I watched that, I was like, damn, Mayweather probably could have won this fight in the first round if he tried. But I think... Mayweather was also the promoter of the fight, too. So he didn't want it to just end in one round. I've talked about this before, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But, yeah, I think he toyed with him. I think he made it last a bunch of rounds to do that because it looked good. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Mayweather could have beaten McGregor in the first round. By the looks of how he whooped his ass that one round when he finally decided to be aggressive with him, I was like, wow. Because Mayweather's not usually someone who knocks people out, but I think he realized like when he actually got in the ring with McGregor, he realized, like, oh, shit, I can, like, unload on this guy because he does not know how to box.
Just a totally different sport. Like, if Mayweather would have gotten in the octagon, he would have gotten destroyed. It's just a different sport. Yeah.
What the fuck can Mayweather do on his back? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Mayweather isn't used to being kicked. He's not used to being, taken down. He's not used to being choked. Of course.
It's like basketball, football. They might be both great athletes, but in their own sport, it's just different. But Mayweather, he's a good boxer for MMA, not for boxing.
Yeah.
People are saying if Conor connected, he could have ended it in the first round. First of all, maybe in UFC where they wear those really little gloves, but they were wearing pillows on their hands, basically. And not only does that make your punch not as hard, but it's also used as a shield. So it's harder to land a knockout punch that way. And Floyd Mayweather's one of the quickest boxers ever. He's hard to hit.
Yeah.
I don't, he's... You're right. This is the No Shit podcast. No shit, no shit, no shit, no shit. No shit. No.
Like, I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your mind. Yes, shit.
How dare you?
Yes, please, shit.
Yes, please.
Maybe.
I really pissed that one dude off, man. Me calling him retarded. He put like 100 sentences up of just insulting me.
Really? I didn't even notice.
He's a little soy boy. He's sore at me.
Now go flag his channel, pimp.
Yes, I'm going to flag him. I'm going to get him kicked off of YouTube. How dare thee insult me?
You heard this, geeks.
Oh, damn, you just got called Bastion Booger in the chat.
I am Bastion Booger.
Oh, damn.
I am Bastion Booger. I'm Sebastian Booger. I'm his brother. Older
Sebastian,
brother.
you guys should have been a tag team.
I'm his older brother, Sebastian Booger. Or Sebastian Snot. How about that?
Under the ring.
What else we got here? What's this?
It's really true. You cannot trust anybody today, not even if you've been around them for your whole life. See, people fuck up with other people's lives. They fuck with other people's lives because they see their lives is not straight. So they figure, oh, you're not going to gain any energy off of destructing the work of God. You're not going to gain no energy off of that. The only thing you could do is dig a grave for yourself, because that's what's really how it's going to end up. You cannot beat God. How many times am I going to say this? You're fighting against God, and you're just on a one-way ticket to hell. That's all you have for your life, to be in hell. That's all there is about you. There's nothing good about you when you go against me. I'm a godly woman. I never murdered. I never stole. I never lied.
Oh, whatever. Okay.
Bitch.
You never murdered. That's easy to believe. You never stole. That's easy to believe. You never lied. That in itself is a lie. Everybody fucking lies. Everybody. And actually, lies are just a negative consequence of language. In order to be able to say something that is true, you have to be able to say something that isn't true also. So,
lying heifer.
I don't have sex. What the fuck, yo?
Oh, that just sounds. I'm sorry.
Why are you going against me? Why everywhere I go, I have an enemy, more than one enemy. Every facility, every building I enter, everybody's my enemy. If I can explain it, I would. But I know how to explain it if God gives me the words to say. But why am I walking down the street and people making gun signs with their hands and pointing it at me? I'm getting threatened to get cut and sliced in the face.
What?
People trying to tell me I'm not pregnant when I know I'm pregnant.
Pregnant?
Don't
pregnant. I'm pregnant, damn it.
I bet you Pimp Monk.
Sex, but I'm pregnant.
I bet you Pimp Monk would impregnate this girl.
Oh, I'd bone the fuck out of her. What the hell?
Yeah, Pimp Monk got jungle fever all the way, dude.
I likes my ebony bitches.
What else? People are trying to say I have a disease. From what? If I have a disease, who gave it to me? That means you're sending. What you doing? Sending guys up to me that have a disease. So when I sleep with them, that
gonorrhea-syphilades.
You can say I have it. What's going on with you? Because if I have disease, that.
Oh, you know what? Good point. Okay, this has to be a troll. She said she's pregnant, but she said she never has sex.
Exactly.
She's the Virgin Mary, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, it came from a man.
She's the Virgin. What's the black name? Rikishi.
Pregnant. You know
that's
what?
The first black name that came to you, Pimp.
That's pregnant. The way she says pregnant, it sounds like one of the fucking words Billy says wrong on purpose.
Yeah, it does.
She's about to give birth to Black Jesus.
Christians.
Christians.
Aluminum.
Or it came from germs in his shelter. Either one. What the fuck? I don't know what's going on. I can't even be around my own family. This is why I'm going to leave this year, 2019. I'm either going to Africa or India. I cannot.
Why?
Nothing is good here.
You think it's better? Well, first of all, Africa, not a country. There's all kinds of places in Africa that are fucking horrible. Some places better than others, but or India. India, really? There's like rape gangs and shit in India. There's all kinds of fucked up shit there too. Really?
America's
States. But
done.
India, that's where it's at.
Now I don't even trust my family. I'm sorry, but they could never get nothing from me ever again. You want your life to be good, then you make it good the way you supposed to. Stop feeding off of my energy.
That makes no sense.
None of that made any sense.
Did you expect it to? No.
There was passion behind it.
I'm gonna run and grab a glass of water. I'll be right back. If you guys want to talk about anything, feel free to do it. I'll be right back.
Talk about her being pregnant.
What we're going to do is talk about my penis right quick.
Yes.
All right, sit back, guys. I know all about this.
It's not a very long conversation.
Already ended before it began.
Yeah, it ended before it began. But honestly, after this show, go over to my channel. I'm doing a little stream over there, so go watch that. Well, it's just something I'm sit around, probably jerk off,
pee in a bottle,
fap and pee in a bottle. I did piss in a bottle the other day on my show in the morning wood. I put a piss in a cup. I think it's this one I'm drinking out of, actually. Man. But anyways, yeah, this chick is retarded, dude. She's just not
go back
right.
to school and learn some more biology there.
This is the prequel to Adult Swim's Black Jesus, though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Somebody said Scarface sucks. That person should die 1,200 deaths.
Engine.
And not a cool death like Scarface had either. Die snorting comical piles of cocaine.
They got a new Scarface coming out, but it's based on a Mexican gangster, a Mexican drug dealer. It's going to be starring the dude from the show, what is it called, Cartel or whatever on Netflix. He played whatchamacallit.
That was my favorite character.
Yeah, the drug dealer from Colombia. What was that famous drug dealer?
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it's gonna be the one that played Pablo Escobar or if it's gonna be like the Cuban cop guy. One of those are playing the new character on new Scarface. And a lot of people are saying, "Well, how dare they remake the movie?" You gotta understand, the Tony Montana version was a remake of an Italian. You know, the original was based in like the 40s and it was based off of Al Capone. Yeah. So, yeah.
Take that.
As long as they don't remake the character of Tony Montana, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Don't redo Tony Montana because it can't be done. Al Pacino was the shit. So yeah. Anyways, where's this goddamn kitchen at? Africa?
Wonder if this chick's made it over there yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
Or India.
She's in India right now. Indiana. Pregnant. She's pregnant in Indiana.
But she hadn't had sex, so
No,
it's all okay.
She's the Virgin Shaniqua.
She do no sex.
Instead of 3 wise men, they had 3 ghetto boys come by. And a fucking
bringing balls, weed, and
yeah.
That was an episode of Maury, right?
Yeah. You're not the father.
We're gonna test all 3 of them today.
Yeah, dude.
Triple nose. Back to the drawing board, bitch.
Maury Povich is he's a modern day Gandhi. I don't know.
Who is?
Maury Povich.
Maury Povich?
You're not the father.
You are not the father. Luke, I am not your father.
If Maury is the modern day Gandhi, what's Jerry Springer?
Jerry Springer, when I was a kid, Jerry Springer was the mayor of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah, He was a mayor. I forgot about that.
Let's see what else we got here. I think this is some flat Earth shit. Let's see.
Dreamers, welcome to my house once again. I have a few more things on my mind I wanted to share, and right now that is the concept of the
This
dome.
filter is ridiculous.
Many of us do believe that there is a dome over the flat Earth. Some people believe that the flat Earth is infinite and it just goes on forever. I'm not too convinced of that yet. Not too sure about that, because if that's true, then also the sky would just go on forever and there would be no need to have a dome. But I can understand various arguments about it. Anyways,
Okay, so you can understand an argument of an endless Earth, but you can't understand the Earth just being like spherical.
Our school systems have failed.
That's a lies, bro.
This guy went to the same school as the other chick in the other video, so.
This guy was probably homeschooled or something.
so a lot of people focus on like, yes, there's a dome, and here's the proof for the dome, and look at the stars, and look at this, and it all proves that there's a dome.
There's no dome.
But I don't hear too much speculation about
What do we live in the Truman Show or something?
why is there a dome.
He's watching Under the
Or,
Dome too
hey,
many times.
hey, what's on the other side of the dome? Okay? I think why is there a dome is probably the most important question.
Yeah.
The next important would be what's on the other side of it. A lot of people have an interesting theory that on the other side of the dome is a space-like atmosphere that is essentially...
You mean space?
Really?
Fuck, he's so smart.
Space, right? You mean space. So there's not actually a dome, it's called the atmosphere. And outside of the atmosphere, that space-like place is called outer space.
or a gigantic amount of water, you know, that there's, like, space is basically ocean. I'm not absolutely sure about that. There may be some sort of truth to that.
That's the only thing you're not sure about, okay.
I don't believe it's a vacuum. I just made a video about that.
Why is he holding the big green ball?
It's some bullshit. He's probably going to use it as some kind of retarded diagram or something.
Some sort of a liquid type material that connects everything together. It
This is
reminds
not
me
using
of
Black Panther.
this book called The Sword of Truth, where there's this machine type thing that's alive that the characters can travel from one point to another very quickly, and they call it the slith. And it's basically they breathe in this liquid, and they go into this like just euphoric state where when they travel from one point to another. That's what that reminds me of. Anyways,
That wasn't a spliff. That was a spliff. You smoked weed.
A spliff.
Yeah.
It's called a spliff.
do I think is on the other side of the dome? Well, I believe that a lot of clues have been left to us in the form of, you know, movie clips, books, things like that. And I think that the looking
Here
glass
comes Black Panther.
metaphor is about the dome. I believe that in the movie The Matrix, where you see Neo touch the mirror, you know, and the mirror is kind of liquidy or whatever, and then he goes through the looking glass into another world, or Alice goes through the looking glass into another place, or people go through these portals and through these...
These are not real people. These are fictional tales.
Fuck
like
NASA.
Fictional characters.
He's
Ben,
using
clues, Ben.
He's using this as evidence that people actually travel through portals, but these are all fictional stories.
reflective surfaces or through the water or whatever it may be. They always end up in some amazingly creative, otherworldly place.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
happens
called
when you take...
right now.
Yeah. That's what I
got
say. That's
good-
what happens.
Yeah.
Taking acid.
It's got good script writing, bro.
Now, I have the idea that I think that may be what is on the other side of the dome. I think that if we were to get through the dome or to pass through the looking glass, we would basically be on our way to another realm. to another dimension, to another world, whatever you would like to call it, another.
I mean, it can't. Okay, whatever you'd like to call it, those terms are not the same thing. Another dimension is not the same thing as another world or another. I mean,
type of existence.
That boy
And all the clues that have been left for us show us that it is a miraculous, amazing, fantastic, magical type of existence. So it's vastly different than the world we live on now.
Yeah. Yeah, because the world we live on now is nothing what you described.
Sorry, I was eating chips. I had some on my teeth. Anyways, why?
Okay, what he just said was kind of trolly. Man, some of these seem like trolls.
Why are we confined? Why is there a dome? Why is there something keeping
just to
us
sell
here?
shit.
Yeah.
I speculate.
At the end of this video, he's going to say, now go buy my big green balls.
You know, I wasn't aware of this until earlier today, but I just came across it while I was walking, looking at my phone. Today, for whatever reason, Sam Pepper and his buddy, they decided to buy a $300 car and drive it from LA all the way to Seattle. And then when they got here to Seattle, they fucking destroyed it. They bashed it in with like all these like baseball bats and shit. And then they drove it to CarMax and tried to sell it to them. It was insane. That was some insane shit.
That's some trolly shit right there.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit's going down under the dome.
That's because it's because we live in a dome and the oxygen is bad.
It's depleting.
I'm going to read some of the super chats and Streamlabs that came in. And if you guys want to send any, please do so. It helps me out tremendously. I got some fucking terrible bills from this surgery that came in recently that are fucking staggering, even with insurance. What do we got here? We got Barry Compton, $5. What if he is reading Mark Twain? I'm not sure what that was referring to.
That was Trump and using the N-word.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see? That's in context. That's fine. That shouldn't be treated the same as actually calling someone the N-word. That's a great point.
Is nuance?
PT Ham, $5. Don't forget to tip your host. Yes, thank you. I agree. Wholeheartedly. What else? We got $2. Rose Artist, I think it says. Pimp Monk, you are killing me with these jokes. So you're a murderer now, Pimp Monk.
I'm a murderer.
You've weaponized humor.
Yes.
Bastard.
My plan is coming along quite nicely. I should never talk like that again.
My plan is coming along quite nicely.
That made my dick wiggle, Ben.
Made my butthole wet. Do it again. Say things about Elon Musk now and drink coffee right out the pot.
I used to read Craigslist ads like in that voice. Yeah. What else do we have here? Here's a video that's not labeled correctly, so it's like a surprise.
All right, so everybody wants to be making singing videos, so here is mine. Turn this up.
The girl in the back is not having none of this shit.
She's gonna suck really bad, I got a feeling.
She killed a girl in the back.
Like, fuck this. Her kid.
I would get out of that car. I'd be like, "There's no way I'm participating in this shit."
She probably hopes her mom will lock her in the hot car with the windows up.
I think about all the time. Think you made me what all of mine. Think of things that love is blind, but I'm about to see. Close my eyes. You can see the itch in the door. Most of them need talent size. Wink every day, birthday, and every night. If we can drive down we could be.
Oh my god, that's so bad. That's so bad. I got it. All right, more.
Somewhere in the climate, as long as you found me, I said everything is fine. I wish we can take some time. Go anywhere, baby, on my mind.
We found the next
having an orgasm.
We found the
I'm
next
dying.
Aretha Franklin, guys. We found the next Rihanna, the next Beyonce. All of them rolled into one. The next Whitney. Who else? The next Mariah. All of them. This girl
Slay.
has surpassed all of the greats.
Grown man in my suit and tie. Baby, there's no way without you and I. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, there's no
Whoever told her that she can sing should be ashamed of themselves.
Her
Beautiful,
dance moves are
man.
great too. Yeah.
I seen unicorns and dancing rainbows and stuff when she sings.
Singing song of pimps people.
It's like an angel massaging my ears.
And the third
Or-
testicle.
And my prostate at the same time. Look how proud she looks.
Yeah. She's glad.
She's disgusted.
All right, let's just take this in for what it says here. God made science. Scientists upset. Evolution hoax debunked.
There you go.
Oh, we can pack it all in. You got it.
Case closed. Case no need to even open it. Check the evidence. Check the references. Truth is obvious. More proven true every time it's opened up.
What the hell am I looking at? What is this?
I don't know. Send it into Netflix. They'll buy it.
Is this like a black denim jacket? Is it a curtain? What am I looking at?
Is he going to turn around and do the Von Helton intro?
They keep getting embarrassed every time. Head down, walk away, close it up, blush, ashamed. Look at what you're trying to prove all your theories with. Funny.
Yeah.
But you forgot God made science. You can't prove him wrong with it. It only proves he exists. Foolish to use science to prove God isn't. Because after all of his creation, he invented science. So we could repeat tests and find proof of him. Wonder and amazement in everything, design intricate.
That's
You
the truth.
keep coming up short, empty-handed, full of futile searches for evolutionary evidence, attempt after attempt. But
Preach
you
it, black
won't
coat.
quit, will you? Because stubborn is the mind of a man desperate for answers, feeling empty because you won't just admit that our origins did not evolve, we were created. Take off your hat, show God some reverence. Thanks for taking the time and listening and watching.
He told me to
I hope
do
to
it.
Talk to you guys
So I
soon.
did it.
I'm not going to do it.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you for suffering through this.
I don't understand what he was talking about.
Did you speaking of Von Helton, did you see that video that he released where he claims that children died because trolls sent child protective services to his house, so that in turn caused other children in his area to die because the child protective services people could have been at those other houses protecting kids that actually needed help when his kids didn't.
Yeah, they were
trolls.
They were totally wasting their time coming to his house with like feces all over the walls that spelled out "I'm hungry." Yeah, they were wasting their time.
Was that really the case?
Yeah, there were
was so
pictures.
Yeah.
There were pictures of shit on his walls.
Yeah, like his kids had just shit in the floor and wrote on the walls, and
Oh
there
my
was like
God.
old rotted food.
They were
and-
just doing SJW art, man. Come on.
Yeah. Pussy hats next week.
Yeah, it was really fucked. He got his kids taken away for a while. He got it back though.
That's so fucking crazy.
Well, if there was poop on the walls, he should have got his kid taken away.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants to live in a poopy house.
Poopy house.
It's a new reality show.
In the chat knows.
Did you guys see the news story about the guy here in Seattle that worked at the airport and he stole a plane and did all these crazy loop-de-loops and shit, but he didn't know how to really fly, so he just ended up crash landing on an island out in the water?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
It was all over the local news and now it's national news. Let's see. I'll find a video of it really quick. It's crazy.
Wonder what pushes someone over the edge to do some shit like that.
Mess.
Well, there is that.
I think he hated his job and stuff, but he didn't do it with intentions to hurt anybody. He just like took the plane because he wanted a very extravagant way of committing suicide, basically.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. I'll show you, dude. He was doing shit that like anyone who cares about being alive would not do in an airplane. Even people who know how to fly an airplane would not do this shit. All right, here it is. And this is like a small passenger plane. It's the kind of plane that you would get on to fly, somewhere not too far away. You know what I mean? Because usually, like the further you,
city.
Yeah, like the next city over, basically. It's for like 2, 3, 4 hour flights. Here it is.
Holy shit.
We need some Top Gun music playing right now.
Look at how close he gets to the water. Look how close he gets to the water. Look at that.
What is this guy doing?
So, and he was doing barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. So yeah, and basically, and then he crash landed. I think you can. I don't know if the crash is on here, but yeah, this was a guy that had access to the planes, and he just decided, I'm going to take this plane, and he knew enough to take off, and he did all kinds of crazy shit with it. There's actually video, or there's actually audio, because he was talking to the air traffic control people there the entire time he was in the air, and they had 2 fighter jets following him the whole time, because if he would have gotten close enough to crash into a building, they would have just blown him up.
Oh man, he's like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
that's not flying. That's suicide with style.
I wonder if I
an
have
empty commercial airplane stolen by an airline employee.
Oops.
That man taking the plane on an hour-long joy.
I'll get that really quick because I wanted you guys to hear the audio from it. It's pretty crazy. And it took them forever to put the fire out.
An empty commercial airplane stolen by an airline employee. That man taking the plane on an hour-long joyride near Seattle, even attempting to do some stunts while armed military fighter jets followed behind him. Then the 29-year-old ground services agent, who we don't know the identity of yet, crashed the plane into the ground, killing himself. We have the chilling audio of the man talking to air traffic controllers over the course of that hour. Take a listen.
I got a lot of people that care about me, and it's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like
flying upside down and shit.
to apologize to each and every one of them.
So calm, too.
Yeah.
Just a broken guy. Got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it until now.
Didn't know he had a screw loose until now, until he's in a stolen airplane.
Hey, you think if I land this successfully, Alaska will give me a job as a pilot?
I don't think so.
You know, I think they would give you a job of doing anything if you could pull this off.
Yeah, right.
If you wanted to land, Probably the best bet is that runway just ahead and to your left. Again, that's McCord Field. If you wanted to try, that might be the best way to set up and see if you can land there. Or just like the pilot suggests, another option would be over Puget Sound into the water.
Dang, did you talk to McCord yet? Because I don't think I'd be happy with you telling me I could land like that, because I could mess some stuff up.
Well, Rich, I already talked to him, and just like me, what we want to see is you not get hurt or anybody else get hurt. So like I said, if you want to try to land, that's probably the best place to go.
Hey, I want the coordinates of that orca with the, the mama orca with the...
Oh, my God, really?
Baby? I want to go see that guy. Hey, pilot guy, can this thing do a backflip, you think? Think I'm going to try to do a barrel roll?
Do a barrel roll.
If that goes good, I'll just go nose down and call it a night. Man, have you been to the Olympics? These guys are gorgeous. Holy
He's talking about the mountains. The Olympic mountains are around here.
smokes.
No, let's try to land that airplane safely and not hurt anybody on the ground.
All right. Nah, damn it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I was kind of hoping that was going to be it,
Wow. Jesus, man.
Wow, that is some crazy shit.
He's in really good spirits for a guy who was going to kill himself.
Yeah, and he died. I mean, it was a fiery, horrific crash. But he did it. He did it on an island where hardly anybody lives and nobody got hurt. He just crashed into a bunch of trees. So, and as soon as the crash happened, it was live on all the local news stations. There was just this huge fire in the middle of this island, and it lasted like 24 hours. It was still smoldering. So,
Poor guy. Fuck.
Yeah, he had a bunch of video, he had a bunch of really normal videos on social media. Him working at the airport, loading things onto airplanes and that kind of shit. So, yeah, pretty sad, pretty crazy. Sad. Yep. So, yeah, that's been a big story for a while here, locally. Yeah, and nationally now, hearing about it a lot more now. But yeah, it's an Alaska Airlines is like the main airline in Seattle, so it's really normal to see those planes flying around here.
That's the one with the Eskimo on the plane, right? Or the Inuit?
Yeah, Alaska Airlines.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
Now the chat's sad.
That is sad. That is sad, though. But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he went out having fun. Sounded like it.
He was doing some crazy shit in that plane. I mean, see that shows that he was kind of suicidal, like never having flown a plane, doing crazy shit like that. That's so.
Yeah, he was wanting to die.
I'm going to go ahead and put up a timer. We only got to $5 today. If anybody else wants to help me out, I'll really appreciate it. Let's see.
Yeah, summertime's never a good time for tipping.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Winter's always better tipping. It really is.
Which is weird because you figure, well, maybe not. Because summertime, everybody's going on vacation.
So we got 14 minutes to make Ben's dreams come true.
Yeah.
Give him enough money to buy him a mansion.
Now, just enough to help me pay medical bills.
Mm-hmm.
Tip.
If you
Finally
tip
got
now, Frank will send you nudie pics.
Yes.
Awesome.
You want these nudie pics.
By the way,
I got some Frank nudes I could send.
By the way, you guys need to check out Frank and Brand's show.
Absolutely.
The Godless Geeks. Now it was the Geek Room, but it should still be. I don't like the name change, but that's just me. It's just me. The guy, yeah, but make sure to check them out. They're really good. Couple of dudes here. I really enjoy their show. Well, I enjoy Frank.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't want us to change our name either. So
No, I enjoy
Pimp's
it.
just a little uncomfortable with how I make him feel about his
Yeah.
sexuality. I think that's what it is.
It makes me want to be straight again. No, but it's a
Don't
good
worry.
show.
I'll
And
reel
also,
you back in, Pimp.
You guys also started this roast thing, right?
yeah, it's actually catching on. It's coming one of the favorites on the show. We do like it's called Atheist Roast. I couldn't think of any name, but we just it's a roast battle, and
Kind of like what Jeff Ross does.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just with a lot of YouTubers. We had Godless Engineer and Paula Gia, Shannon Q, just a lot of great people. The Godless Iowan, and it's been so far it's been pretty good. So, and we've already got people signing up to be on the second season of it. So,
Awesome.
yeah, I think Pimp's going to do it too.
Maybe.
He's going to roast.
$1 through Super Chat. That's more than good enough for me. Thank you.
Hell yeah. $1 more than you had 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks about that is YouTube took 35 cents of it.
Yeah, I know, right.
Fucking YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's garbage. That's why I suggest Streamlabs over YouTube, because YouTube is already fucking my other channel. So helping to earn them money seems counterintuitive for me at this point.
Yeah, we got I was gonna say we got a couple $100 last one time we was doing a stream. We still hadn't seen that yet. That was
yeah?
like a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we I think there just needs to be a mass exodus. You know, YouTube wants to be a cable provider. They want to be a television provider. I think it's time to go somewhere else. I just don't know where. The
Amazon.
closest.
Amazon needs to do it.
Well, Amazon owns Twitch. So there are very few companies that can contend with Google, but Amazon is one of them. Microsoft is one. Microsoft has Mixer, which is a great website. It works perfectly. I've never had an issue with the functionality of Mixer whatsoever. But it's just no one goes there.
BitChute is a site where they upload videos. That I've started doing that.
Yeah, it's the flavor of the month place. I mean, it's people said Steam it. There's Minds. There's a lot of these alternative ones, but unfortunately, there's not the viewer base.
The creators are there, but nobody's viewing it.
Right. It's like when you're in a band and you play a show and the only people there are like the other bands and their girlfriends and stuff.
It's just
like
other
that.
creators checking out other creators' stuff.
Yeah. So it's like that. So you're lucky to bring over people from your YouTube audience, the ones that do want to go, and a lot of people just don't like change, so they won't follow you there. But also you're not going to get a lot of new people. Because there's no new people coming around. Did I just miss one? Because my thing went up. Zach. Oh, and Large Marge said, "Hey Ben." So we got Zach and Large Marge. I think I just missed those. Thanks for the money, guys. Every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Usually I don't do this show on Tuesday. Usually I get a lot more donations on Thursday when I do the show. So it's cool. Oh, I just got another pretty good one. $20.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went to even further this past weekend, where people like to set off notorious tanks in the main tent while Acid House is playing loudly. Oh, nitrous tanks. That's what that says. I was like, notorious. I was already tripping and got even more fucked up. Further on, and keep it up. Benpai, always happy to help. Thank you. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. It's hard for me to read.
Notorious.
But it says nitrous, but I didn't think nitrous was spelled that way. Because it was spelled Nitrous. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong though. But yeah, nitrous oxide. I've had some of that before. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That shit fucks you up. It's like when you go to the dentist, and they give you the gas.
Oh fuck.
That's what it is. It's that shit.
Yeah, it's the happy gas.
Take a couple puffs of that, you're like, dude.
Yank a teeth out.
When I had my surgery, they gave me a general anesthetic, which just totally fucks you up.
Yeah.
And I could feel it. Like he told me when he was starting to put it in, and I could feel it entering my hand. Like
oh yeah.
Yeah, like through the IV, I could feel it like coming in, because they put it like right up here, like in this vein right here. So I could feel it like coming in. I could feel it creep all the way up my arm. Because he told me it would burn a little bit, and it did. It burned. There was like a mild burning sensation from it. And then once it got to my head, it was just done. I followed it all the way up my arm and then up into my brain, and then I was just out.
It's funny that you mentioned that. We were talking about the Catholic priest earlier. The altar boys felt it coming in their hand too.
Damn.
You're bad, dude. You just like, you try too hard to be edgy, Pimp Monk. Too hard.
Edge monk.
I am the edge monk.
Edge lord.
But yeah, that shit fucked me up. And then when I woke up, I was in pain because I got cut open 4 times. So they gave me fentanyl through an IV. They were like, here's something for the pain. I'm like, what is this? And they're like, fentanyl. I'm like, oh shit, that's the stuff all the heroin addicts are dying from.
Yeah.
I was like, this shit must be strong as fuck, and it was.
Yes, it's the strong. I think it's like the strongest one you can get.
So when you get, so I that's the only time in my life I've ever been shot up with something close to heroin, and that, it fucked me up instantly. I was just decimated from it. But it felt good. I felt so crazy relaxed. I couldn't even pay attention to the fact that my stomach was a bloody, scabby mess.
You hear that, kids? Fentanyl feels good. Try
it does. That's why people get addicted to it.
But it's also very dangerous when not taken properly by medical staff. It can be a very, very dangerous.
Yes, I think is that how Michael Jackson died?
I do believe so.
Yeah.
A lot of people dying over that.
And that
shit,
was
man.
done by a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. It was done by a doctor.
Isn't that crazy? Michael Jackson got to the point where he was so rich and powerful that he literally got his own doctor to live at his house with him and inject him with drugs anytime he wanted.
Yeah.
I think there's been some cases where like fentanyl's been laced with on pot and stuff like that. Like, that's
crazy. That's terrible. Weed is fine the way it is. See, and that's another argument for weed being legal. Every piece of weed or weed product that you buy in the store here in Washington literally has a unique ID that tracks it from the seed all the way to the shelf that you buy it from.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. There's no way there's anything else in it. So you never have to worry about that shit.
Long ass nose hairs, man.
I just pull those out with tweezers.
Yeah, I got one of those things you stick up your nose trimmer.
Yeah, I have one of those too. If I just happen to see a stray though, just grab a pair of tweezers and yank them out.
Yeah, I usually pull them out by my fingers and my
This is like 40-year-old. This is 40-year-old man talk right here that we're having. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm close enough to have these same problems.
Yeah, you lose hair where you want it, and you grow hair where you don't want it.
You know what else? Oh, you know what was fucking the worst part of this surgery? And they didn't even tell me this was going to happen, so I thought there was an issue. My fucking scrotum blew up like a fucking balloon. It was like swollen like a big like balloon.
God damn.
Yeah. A hernia, and I found out that's totally normal for a hernia surgery. Dude, it was so terrible to sit down with like a swollen, inflated scrotum.
It's like that South Park South Park
I've always
episode with
got
them
an
jumping on
inflated
balls and
scrotum.
stuff like that.
I felt like a fucking hamster. You ever seen like how hamsters have giant balls in proportion to their body?
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
I've always got giant balls. So, yeah.
I'd have
Just a
to reach
little-
down and like hold them up so I wouldn't sit on them.
Yeah, I bet that shit was painful, too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I bet you had like a constant throb in them. Oh, God, that shit hurt.
Not just there, but like my entire pelvic region and
Yeah.
and my belly button, because they put those fucking meshes.
Yeah.
It's like a synthetic net that they install in your body to keep the hernia from popping out again. And I have 3 of them. And I actually have pictures. I'm gonna scan. They're on a piece of paper, but they're pictures that they took inside my body, and you can like see my intestines and shit. And I was thinking about scanning those and showing them on the show sometime for educational purposes.
Educational.
I showed my colonoscopy pictures one time, so people literally saw the inside of my ass.
Yes. Dude, I know my shit's going to be all fucked up when I eventually do have that hernia surgery. Because I've got this, like, massive mountain of a hernia.
Yeah, it looks like a baby's trying to come out of his belly button.
It does, dude.
It does.
The doctor
I had
said
one, but it was really small and you could barely see it. It's an umbilical hernia. It's when your guts pop through the hole that your umbilical cord used to go through.
Yeah. Oh. And the doctor says mine weighs about 30 pounds.
God damn.
Yeah.
My shit froze up, didn't it? Yeah.
So he's got a hernia that weighs about as much as a first grader or something.
Yeah.
You know? That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's
Trying
horrible.
not to get back to Catholic priest jokes. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have an altar boy in my belly.
Yeah, you
not
should
go into an altar boy's belly.
Millions.
I would say just get it though. You know, I'm already noticing like my stomach doesn't look as like bloated as it used to now that it's gone, because that shit was like making my stomach like pushed out more.
Yeah, it does. Well, mine, I'm a fat dude, but my belly comes down into like a rocket shape. It's a weird shape. because of
Yeah.
the-
Hernias are no fucking joke.
Man,
Don't
they
fuck
hurt,
with
too.
hernias. I had 3 of them.
Never had one. Hope I don't get one.
You can get them like anywhere down there. Thank you, Southpaw Valkyrie. Let's see if there was a message. No, just a donation. Thank you for helping.
Somebody said my hernia weighs as much as the Alex Jones hater.
Good one.
I like that one.
Yeah, dude. Like I had one on each side of like my pelvis, so like above my groin on each side, and then I had one like where my belly button is. So my belly button, like that's how I realized I had one. The other 2 I didn't know about until I got examined. But the one, like I was looking in the mirror one day and I noticed that my belly button was like a different shape than it used to be, and I looked closer and I saw the bulge like poking down in there, and I was like, holy shit. And I was like, you can die from a hernia, like if it gets strangulated.
Yeah.
So I got it taken care of as quickly as possible. The guy on the bottom looks like the leader of Eiffel 65. I'm blue like the balls on Benpai. Abadi babada, abadi abada.
I preferred the lead singer of Disturbed comparison I saw in the chat earlier, but I'll take Eiffel 65. Fuck it.
What about Fred Durst?
Yeah. No, I was Moby, remember?
Were you Moby? I thought I was Moby.
I was Moby. The
okay.
fucking, yeah.
Any others?
Moby
Any
without
others
the
that want to come in? I'll give you a little bit more time.
I'll show you my giant whale. Yeah.
Someone said Michael Jackson didn't die from fentanyl. I don't know. That's what I had heard.
Was it?
I think Prince.
Propofol?
I think Prince died from like Percocets or something too. That's kind of weird that they both died from drugs.
A lot of rock stars.
Yeah, but I heard Prince was like really religious and straight laced, and he didn't even swear or anything like that. So
yeah,
he just
Wasn't
got
he like
addicted.
a Jehovah's Witness or some shit?
Really?
He
I didn't
believed in
know that.
Yeah, he was a Jehovah's Witness. He believed in chemtrails, all that shit.
Fuck.
There's an interview with him. You can look it up. If you ever want to know how weird Prince was, like just as a person, you should look up the Kevin Smith thing, that because Kevin Smith made a movie for Prince back in the day that will never be released, probably. And he describes what it was like dealing with Prince, and it was just crazy. But Prince was a musical genius, but a pretty wacky dude.
And he was in the greatest movie ever made, Purple Rain. Come on. Lake Minnetonka.
Have you ever seen the sequel to that, Graffiti Bridge?
No, I didn't know there was a sequel to it.
Yeah, there's a sequel. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. One last reminder, check out my Amazon links below. It helps support me without you having to spend any extra money. And if you'd like to become a patron, feel free to do so. I'm doing the private show with Billy the Fridge, and I'm going to try to pull in some other surprise guests. Musicians dying from drugs. Is that really surprising? Yes, because of who they were. They weren't like,
It wasn't like Keith Moon or anything.
or Keith Richards, or anyone who is known as like a heavy drug user, a rock star. These were more wholesome. Michael Jackson was more wholesome, and then he just went crazy. The drugs probably had a lot to do with that. And
Keith Richards, you expect to die any moment, and never did.
Yeah. And then Prince, and I said why Prince was surprising, because Prince was like really straight laced. He wouldn't even play his like old songs that were like sexual in nature. Like he wouldn't play those songs anymore because he became Yep. I heard people would drop like $200-$300 for a decent seat at a Prince concert, and he wouldn't even play the songs like that made him famous. He wanted to just play what he wanted to play.
No little Nicky, huh?
No pussy control.
That's just not fun.
All right, later, guys.
Later.